Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Wake Up Worldwide Stout. This is a breakfast stout coming in at 15.3% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich, and today we're going to be looking at Wake Up Worldwide Stout. This is a breakfast stout, I believe, and it is by Dogfish Head Craft Brewing in Milton, Delaware, if I'm reading this correctly. And it is coming in at 15.3% ABV. You know, I've seen it advertised as a breakfast stout, so I'm sort of interested in seeing this. This has a pretty high ABV at 15.3, so this is right up my alley. I'm sort of looking forward to seeing what this is all about. So let's crack this one open. My opener sort of there. Ooh, okay, I'm getting huge like coffee notes on this one. So let's do the pour. And this is pouring a very dark brown. Some light is going through it. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up. Not much head. It always seems to me that the higher the ABV, the less carbonation you're going to get out of it. Some serious legs on the glass. It's definitely coating the inside of that glass. And let's check the nose. Wow, okay. I'm getting strong coffee notes. Now, I know there is supposed to be coffee in this. I thought it was cold pressed coffee. Maybe I'm wrong. But I normally expect cold pressed coffee to be a little bit more, on the back of the flavor profile. But as far as the nose goes, there is a tremendous coffee aroma to this. This is definitely, I hope it tastes as good as it actually smells. I'm getting coffee. There's a certain sweetness to this as well. I want to say almost a honey-like aroma. Something sweet. I'm not sure what it is exactly. But the coffee is the dominant flavor here, as far as the dominant aroma here, not flavor. And it smells great, so I'm really excited for this particular beer. All right, let's give it a try. Oh wow. Okay, so this just explodes with flavor. Right down the back of the tongue, right up into the, the sinuses. You're getting coffee. That sweetness, there's almost like a honey maple flavor to it on the very back end of this. That really, like, this is really good. Yeah, okay, so there's definitely coffee here, a lot of it. It's that sort of bitterness on the back of the tongue that you associate with coffee, particularly black coffee is what I'm getting here. But this is black coffee that has some sort of sweetener in it. There's a certain maple flavor to it. As you breathe out after you take the first drink, there's also this sort of like honey thing that just pops up. This is fantastic. And I'll tell you something, for 15%, you really don't feel the alcohol until it hits your stomach. Okay, so let's see what it says. Malted barley, organic, Nicaraguan, Finca Tarita cold pressed coffee. Okay, I'm getting that. I knew there was maple in this. So, and maple syrup. I'm still getting a note of honey there. This is awesome. This is definitely a really solid breakfast stout. Everything you think of with breakfast, or at least everything I think of with breakfast, black coffee, sort of the sweetness of maple syrup, and I'm also, like I said, I'm getting that honey that's there. It's almost like, the honey you would sort of put into a tea. It's really nice. And at 15%, I have to tell you, the alcohol is not apparent until you have really put this into your stomach. And then there's this nice warming bloom that comes out of it. This is fantastic. This is really good. Now, I will say this, that's my third sip. The alcohol is becoming a little bit more pronounced in the bitterness on the back of the tongue. And I don't know if it's that, you know, like this is the third sip and therefore the alcohol is sort of building in up as it's going on. But this is fantastic. This is exactly what you want in what you would consider a breakfast stout. Now, I have to be honest, I've never had a stout for breakfast, but if I was going to, this is the type of stout that I would be looking for. That coffee, that roastiness that comes along with the coffee, then that sort of burst of sweetness on the back of the tongue. And the sweetness isn't overwhelming. It's much more subtle. And I expected, after reading Cold Brewed Coffee, for the coffee to be sort of muted. The coffee's right out there. It's out there. It's very apparent for you. This is great. I really, you know, from my flavors, what I like a dark beer. I like a roastiness to it. If you're gonna have coffee in it, I want the coffee pronounced. If there's gonna be sweetness, I want the sweetness to be sort of definable. And this has all of that. This is, I think, just wonderful. And definitely something that not only would I look for again in the future, I did wind up having two of these, so I have another one that I'm going to cellar. My regret is that I'm not sharing this with a bunch of people, because this is fantastic. So if you get a chance, again, this is, and I keep screwing up the name, and I know I shouldn't because I've reviewed their other stuff as well. This is Dogfish Head Craft Brewing, and they're in Milton, Delaware, according to the bottle. And this is Wake Up Worldwide Stout with 15.3% ABV. And if you find it near you, I would pick it up. I would pick it up immediately. In fact, I don't know how they sell it. I'm assuming a 4-pack. I would buy a 4-pack. I would try one immediately. I would cellar the other ones. And I would try them over the course of time, because this is a really nice sort of warming stout. You know, it's March right now and the weather has been really cold by me. And this is the perfect type of stout for this type of weather. You know, I could see easily the end of the afternoon, sitting down in front of the fire, slowly drinking this. And I'll tell you, as it warms up a little bit more, it's not, you know, fridge temperature, but it's not quite like room temperature either. The flavors are definitely expanding, so, you know, getting more pronounced. Yeah, the more it warms up, the more the sweetness becomes apparent, and that sweetness is fantastic. Like, this is an excellent, excellent beer that I highly recommend if you get a chance to get a hold of. Again, Wake Up Worldwide Stout. I'm sure this is not a new discovery. It's sort of new for me. I haven't had it before. I would definitely pick it up, and this is what I'm going to be looking for in the future. And I'm probably going to do another video on this in about a year or so, just to see how this thing cellars, because, you know, like, this is a wonderful beer. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. I'd love to hear from anybody else who has tried this beer. You know, it's still early in the year, but so far, this has been one of my favorite stouts that I've tried so far this year in 2023. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the rest of this one. Cheers.